This is a blast from the past. You're gonna enjoy our guest at 9:27. You're also gonna enjoy our guest at 7:16.
Yes, you will.
Each and every week. Now, look, not gonna lie. I wish we could talk to Coach Hawkins every week after a win as we build towards an undefeated season and national championship. But this isn't a Disney movie. This is real life, and you hopefully learn as much from losses, if not more, than wins. I won't say that. I'll let Coach speak for himself. Tough game over the weekend. The Aggies edged by Eastern Washington in their Big Sky opener, 27-24. And Coach joins us right now to talk about it. Coach, it's Dave and Jason. Good morning.
I want to hang on for the surprise guest.
It's a tease.
Yeah, we'll text you up. We'll text you on the private text line and let you know. I think you'll be happy to. How are you this morning?
Well, we got to scratch and claw and get back on the W side, hopefully.
One of the questions I hate media asking is, well, what happened, Coach, when we lost? But it really, if you're summing up the game, how was it other than obviously the scoreboard that the Aggies fell short?
Well, turnovers again. I mean, we fumble, they get a field goal, we throw a pick six. I mean, it's tough when you're giving up points and your defense isn't on the field, and so that's 10 points we gave them. We actually did turn it over another time, but our defense held them, which was great. And then we're trying to kick the game-tying field goal down in the end of the game, and that gets blocked. So really, functionally, it's 4 turnovers, and you're not going to win a lot of games doing that. So it's not like we don't work on it and coach it, and we're obviously not coaching it well, or I'm not coaching it well. But I mean, the previous week we won by a couple. We didn't turn over at all, but now we turned it over 4 times and lose by 3. That's not a good recipe.
And Coach, I'm wondering on the coaching end of that, as you said, obviously the players know that. They know they don't want to turn it over. Mistakes do happen, but do you make it then even more of a point of emphasis, or do you not want? I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out how much you want to put that on top of their minds as opposed to not, you're not scaring them. I just wonder how you handle that when you've got some turnover problems lately.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, when I played here, I was pretty sure if I fumbled the ball, Jim Soaker would have me getting popcorn. And I think at some point that's kind of where you go. We work the heck out of it at practice, and you functionally want to be proactive about it, which we are. And you don't want to over harp on it, but at some point there has to be some accountability. So you can't turn it over. That's just the bottom line.
And Coach, just to go a little bit deeper on that, I don't want you to give away trade secrets, but for those of us that have never coached or even played professional football or college football, nobody wants to turn the ball over. Nobody goes out and says, hey, I'm going to fumble or I'm going to throw a pick. Interceptions, I'm sure, are a different story. But when it comes to trying to prevent turnovers, how do you coach that? How do you physically try to coach that?
Well, we do a couple times a week. We have training where how do you carry the ball? How do you protect the ball? You're in traffic. You're not in traffic. You're about to get hit. You're getting tackled. You're going down. I mean, we work all of that. And then obviously you're reinforcing that during practice when guys, and we have coaches that track that, and you look at it and you show clips of both good and bad. And then when it comes to the interception portion of it, it's again about making good decisions, and it's decisions, it's footwork, it's timing, it's the actual throw itself. And then, sometimes it's on the other end too. It's what's the route? Is it the route depth? Are we reusing the right technique? I mean, it can be a combination of things that lead to an interception. So you have to kind of keep cleaning all that up.
Coach Dan Hawkins with us. Coach, as far as last week's game, saw we've talked about Lan Larison for a couple weeks here, and he's been amazing, but that injury certainly didn't look good. I don't know the outcome of it, but what's his status? And if he is out for some time, how do you guys replace a guy that's been so important to what you do?
Well, it's hard, but I always say everybody's young, thin, and beat up. I mean, that's football, and people, I don't care whatever level, they lament when people are dinged or out or hurt, and that's why we train a bunch of guys, and we don't like getting into starters. We like getting into contributors. And I also say don't get hung up in your letter, meaning it doesn't matter whether you're T or X or Y or Z or H. Like, you're a football player, and we're going to use our best 5 guys on the field. So we're always manipulating that and getting guys in and out of different positions. And so that's the name of the game. And, Land's dinged right now, and he's got some rehab to go here. We will get him back. But that's what football is. And so you have to be ready to go. And that's why we train a lot of guys.
Bottom line, Coach Hawkins, Land had 255 yards. That's the third best single game rushing effort in school history. You guys outgained, I think, by 116 yards Eastern Washington, won the time of possession battle 31, almost 32 minutes to 28 minutes. Is this the epitome of one of those, we really played well enough to win here? It just, as you said, was the turnovers?
Well, yeah, we didn't play well enough. When you turn it over, we didn't play well enough. Could we have won the game? Yeah, but again, if the ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a happy holiday. So, that's what it happens. And I keep harping on it. It comes down to 3 plays a game. And so sometimes you think, oh, you're close. Well, yeah, you're close, but you've got to somehow close that gap. And so to say that we played well enough, I don't know if that's the key. I thought we played well on defense, certainly at times. I mean, we were close to stifling, but we had a couple that got away from us. We played very good defensive football, but you turn it over 3 times on offense and you have a field goal block. So you got a couple phases of the game that need to get shored up.
Coach, there's been a rivalry a long time with Cal Poly. You get them next. You have to move on to the next. So what about this matchup with the Mustangs this weekend?
Well, yeah, every time you have a rivalry, you can throw out the records and all that. There's always some intensity. And, Cal Poly with their academic standing and our academic standing, there's always you have a lot of people that work together and work with each other that are alums that take a lot of stock in this game, and we do as well. And it's always been, a tough game no matter where you go. And of course, you got to get on a bus and go 5 hours down there. So it will not be an easy venture. And like I said, you can kind of throw the records out. But Paul Wolf's a good coach. He coached here for a little bit with us, and he's a Davis High grad, and I've known Paul for a lot of years. Good coach, good guy. They'll be ready to go.
I'm sure you're probably glad they don't. They're done with those triple option days.
Well, it ate up a lot of your time because you had to spend time on it in the spring, time on it in fall camp, time on it in your bye. It is not an easy offense to get ready for. So if you only spend a week on it, you're probably going to get steamrolled because that's not enough time.
Hate Cal Poly. I hate him, Jason.
Come on. Don't go there. It's bad for your soul. Let's go.
It's just looking for a bounce back. Big win coming up. You can, of course, hear that. Scott Marsh on the call right here on Sactown Sports. Coach, as always, we really appreciate you. Good luck this week with the team, with everybody. Everybody stay safe, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Have fun with that surprise guest. Go away.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's Coach Dan Hawkins, and he's right. Now or when we get back? Your call. We did say now, but
when we get back.
Oh my God, you're horrible.
I'm horrible. You're horrible.
You're the
bad cop.
Worst. Yeah, he's bad. Jason Ross, bad cop. We'll take a break. When we return, very first thing out of our mouth, hey,
maybe.
Welcome back, Sactown Sports. You never know.
Maybe later.
We got a surprise guest at 9:27.
You're horrible.
Just added to the list. You're horrible. We'll be right back. Our surprise guest right here on SactownSports.com.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
When Joe Montana retired, he was, of course, regarded as what? The greatest of all time. Many in this area